What is happening, people? It is Brian, Alsruhe, NEVERsate.com, and I need to gain a lot of weight, like a lot of weight. For those of you who do not know, I've been involved in strongman for about 4 years now, and I've always competed in the 231 pound weight class. All that basically means is that I need to be less than 231 pounds. However, this year I went to the Arnold with Brian Shaw and Andy Shadow and saw all those guys doing all that amazing stuff up on the Arnold stage, and I decided that if I'm gonna do something in strongman, that's where I wanted to be, so I decided to make the move to the heavyweight class. And basically all that means is that I am heavier than 232 pounds, but I need to be less than 265. Now, gaining weight for a competition or bulking is kind of a dicey thing because it's very easy to get a lot of fat and you're gaining weight, so you think you're doing a good thing, but you're not getting muscle mass. So with that in mind, I needed some way to measure that. Now, I've been waiting on a deal from these body analyzer scale people, and the reason why I've been waiting on it is because it uses bioimpedance to measure those things, and I've read so many bad things about bioimpedance, how inaccurate it is, how all this kind of stuff. So I was kind of trepidatious going into this. However, I'd seen on Alan Thrall's channel where he did an entire video using the exact same scale, and he's done stuff like DEXA scans and the body fat calipers and everything like that. And the bioimpedance on this particular scale really wasn't that bad. And I figured if it's good enough for Alan, then it's probably gonna be good enough for me. So I started consciously trying to put on weight late last month. This is my first weigh-in on September 26th. All right, September 26th, first weigh-in. I am person number one, a male. I consider myself an athlete. 6 foot tall, and I'm 37 years old. So I have already weighed my camera. That's about 2 pounds, and I'm gonna get on this thing and hopefully stand still enough to get it to read. Let's see. Go hold my breath, hold on. There we go. All right, so now 243 minus 2 pounds for the camera, so that puts me at about 241 pounds. This number right here shows my water percentage, which is 54.9% water. I'm 36.2% muscle and 9.2 pounds of bone. And then up here, this is my body fat percentage, which is 26.8. So yeah, there you go. I weigh about 240 pounds every day of the week. If you guys come visit me, most likely gonna be weighing 240 pounds. However, now that I'm competing in the heavyweight class, I need to drive that weight number up some. And that is where this has been so useful. A couple things I like about it. Number one, it's cool looking scale. Number two, it's got a really low profile. I actually keep my scale in my kitchen next to my refrigerator because when I'm cutting weight, I have a tendency to grab food out of the refrigerator and stand on the scale to get an idea of how much I'm actually putting on. And yes, I understand that it doesn't work that way, but no, I'm unwilling to change it. But thanks for your concern. So the thing that I probably like most about this scale in a bulking situation like I'm currently in is that as I'm gaining weight, I'm not only measuring my body weight. That is just one determining factor. So I could be getting a bunch of body fat, I could be overhydrated, I could be underhydrated, there could be a lot of things going on. But with this scale, I'm able to take my body fat, my bone density, my water levels, my muscle mass, density, all of those types of things get measured in this scale. Now, like I said earlier in the video, yes, it is bioimpedance, and bioimpedance is definitely not the most accurate way to measure your body fat or anything like that. But in reality, what are you gonna do? Are you one of those people who walks around with like body fat calipers just stalking people trying to get them to pinch you and get your body fat? You weirdo. So yeah, it might be a little less accurate than that, but at least you're getting real data every single day or every third day or whatever if you're weighing yourself at the same time in the morning with the same hydration levels, following the same pattern. So then at least you have a couple indicators that you can follow and hopefully hone in that type of dieting or your cardio or your conditioning or whatever else you have to do to make weight. So that is why I really, really like this scale. If you guys do want to save some money, I'm not making any money on the sale of these scales. I'm just sharing with you guys a good product. So if you guys do want to pick one up, you can use the code NEVERsate and save yourself 60%. You can get that in the description box down below. And now we go on to my predictions for nationals. Now, like I said, I moved up in class. So typically I've been in the 231 weight class, and this nationals in particular for 2017 is pretty much the heaviest nationals that ever has been in the history of nationals, which is really good because it is the national championships and not everyone should be able to play at the national championships. But that said, I don't know that I'm strong enough to play at the national championships this year either. So I moved up in weight class because I do believe that that is the only way that I'm gonna get to where I want to be in the strongman world. However, weighing 240 pounds is not going to cut it. For my last two contests, I pushed my weight up to about 270 pounds, and that went pretty well because I've always read that if you gain weight, then you'll gain strength. And for me, that kind of worked okay. I will say for sure that for carry events like a keg carry or a yoke carry, having more weight on your body absolutely is a game changer. That makes a huge difference. But it didn't help my squat or overhead press, and it actually made my deadlift get worse. So I think 270 pounds is a little much for me. I feel like crap, I don't sleep well, terrible things happen to me when I'm 270 pounds. So instead, I think I'm gonna come in at about 250 to 255. I feel like that is where I'm a good mix of athleticism and conditioning as well as strength. So going into the events, our very first one is a log clean and press for as many reps as possible in 60 seconds, cleaning every single rep, and that is at 320 pounds. Now, 320 pounds is a weight that I've done in the past, and it's a weight that I know I can hit. However, this shoulder is going to kind of impede that. I was lucky enough to hit 300-pound log overhead press for one about 2 weeks ago. And then last week I failed at 320 twice. This shoulder is definitely gonna determine how well or how poorly I do at nationals. But that said, I am competing, I am going for it no matter what. The only way that I wouldn't, I get an MRI on Friday on this shoulder, see what kind of damage is actually in there. And if they give me the okay to go ahead and go, whether I'm going to hurt worse or whatever the case may be, I'm going to do nationals. The only way that I would not do it is if I am currently in a sling because I got surgery on my shoulder and my foot, because I will get them cut both at the same time if this does in fact need surgery. So my prediction for the log cleaner press is hopefully 1 rep. If I get 1 rep, I will be an ecstatic individual, but time will tell. The second event is a carry medley where I have to carry a 840-pound yoke for 60 feet, drop that, immediately pick up farmer's handles where I'm holding 335 pounds in each hand and carry that back 60 feet. Now, neither one of these is a massive deal for me. The only problem is you get 1 drop. So if I'm making through the yoke and I'm carrying the farmers and I drop them, I get that 1 drop. If I pick it back up and I carry further and I drop it again, I zero. I don't get any points at all. The yoke, I know for sure that I can get that. I will be slow, but I will be steady. There's no doubt in my mind that I will get that. The farmers are going to be a toss-up whether I can hold on to or not. Hopefully I can, especially after an 840-pound yoke walk. Time will definitely tell on that one, but I'm really hoping that that is an event that I can complete and get some points on the board. Event number 3 is a frame deadlift at 830 pounds for as many reps as possible in 60 seconds. Now, we do not have access to the frame that we will be using at nationals. And the current frame that we have is actually a little bit of a lower pick and a little wider than we're gonna be using, so we haven't been using the frame much at all as far as that is concerned because it doesn't mimic the actual competition. Instead, what we've been doing is some farmer's handle deadlifts because the pick is virtually the same. It may be a little bit wider because when you attach a frame to it, the distance gets further from your hand, so it's almost like pulling from a deficit or a snatch grip deadlift, except at 830 pounds, which is something that I've never been able to do before. I pulled the farmer's handles for one at 830 pounds, and that was a heavy pull. So with that in mind, I would absolutely love to get 1, 2, 3 reps somewhere in there, but I know that the winner is gonna be in the double digits because these guys are strong. Next up is the Husfeld Stone, which is the epitome of death, but I am pretty good at front carries. Now the Husfeld Stone is set at 400 pounds and you go as far as you possibly can. You just keep turning. You make turns at 60 feet and you just go back and forth as many times as you possibly can. I am hoping to get back and forth at least 2 times, maybe a third. I'm not really sure what to expect on that. I know that I can do a 400-pound Husfeld Stone. It's just gonna come down to what happens on that day, and that is actually on the first event on day 2 of the competition. So the first day is going to be a super long day with a ton of athletes where you finish off with that deadlift. So your CNS is already gonna be dug. Then you get about, 10 hours of sleep, and then you're right back into the competition where I'll be doing the Husfeld Stone. So it's really gonna determine how much that first day takes out of me, how well the second day goes. But a 400-pound Husfeld Stone is definitely heavy. Do not get me wrong, that is brutally heavy. But that is probably the one event that I'm absolutely sure that I'm not going to zero, and that is pretty much because you can't really zero it. If you pick it up and you walk 3 feet, then you gotta score. I'm hoping for 4 feet. And the final event at Nationals is the Stone of Steel, set at 360 pounds over a 52-inch bar for as many reps as possible in a minute. Now, 360 pounds is a weight that I have never gotten before. My current PR on the Stone of Steel is 345 pounds. Now I can do a 400-pound stone like it's nothing with tacky and everything else, but the Stone of Steel is a different animal, mainly because of the holding. It's not the weight, it's not the It's not the explosion. It's not the actual lift. That's the problem. The problem is holding onto that stone. And with these little T-Rex arms and a big chest, I do not get a lot of purchase on that stone. So if it breaks free at all, then I am not going to get one. However, if it holds, then I'm probably looking at 2, I'm hoping. If I get 1, it's gonna be a PR. So I'd be super ecstatic if I got 1, but I'm hoping for 2 to 3 on that event. We'll see. Again, time will tell. So that's it for me, guys. I'm just trying to keep you guys updated on what's going on with me as far as the injury with my shoulder is concerned. I'm getting that MRI Friday. When I know more, you guys will know more. And those are my expectations for nationals. Hopefully it goes better than I'm expecting, but a lot's gonna have to do with this. But right now, I think I probably need to go start eating some food so that I can continue to put on weight. If you guys do want to pick up a scale, this is a great one. You guys can get 60% off if you use the code NEVERsate. Like I said, guys, I do not make any money off of that scale. So if you guys want to pick one up because you're in the market for a scale, then I think you absolutely should. If not, then you guys got to talk about how horrible my next couple weeks is going to be trying to gain this weight. Guys, I do thank you guys so much for just watching the videos and hanging out and subscribing and sharing with your friends, man. It is so, so cool, and I am overwhelmed and humbled just every single day. Guys, I do thank you for everything you're doing, but until I see you later in the week, go out, do something amazing, realize, keep working hard, be nice to each other, and I'll see you then.